Hello and welcome back to Crafting My Way Happy. If you haven't been here before, my name's Lisa and together we're going to create some great things for the home today. So these are made from air dry clay, some acrylic paints and a lot of patience and also the string that goes in between. So I hope you'll join me and we'll get into this. So first things first, you need some air dry clay and you need to begin to warm that up in your hands a little bit so it goes like Play-Doh when you were a kid. After that, take it and just pull it down into a ball, press down and take a rolling pin or anything like what I'm using, which is an old tube to be honest. So once you've rolled your clay out and you've got it all round about 0.5 centimetres all over, then it's time to get hold of a cookie cutter. This particular cookie cutter I got from Temu and it actually comes with the hearts as well and a few other little bits. But now what I'm doing is just going around the outside to try and make it as neat as possible. You could also use some water if that helps as well. But as you can see, it's just come out and I'm just using my little knife to go around it and just get rid of the excess. Remember, if you stay neat now, then it means less sanding at the end. So now I'm just going around with the water and just making sure, like I said, to smooth it all down as much as possible. And where needed, if I couldn't quite get in the corners, I was just using the little knife again. Once I was happy with that, it was then on to making the hearts. Now I made two hearts, one for my son and one for his girlfriend, and I'm going to be adding their names to these as well. So again, I rolled out the thickness exactly the same as the house, and I'm just pushing down on the cookie cutter, and this one came with the other cookie cutter from Temu. And these were actually a little bit easier just to pull away. So again, I'm just picking them up and going round all of the heart just to make sure again that there's no scraggly ends. Remember, if you can get it neat, then there's less sanding, which is brilliant. Then I just went in and added a hole to the love hearts. I added two holes to one of the love hearts and one to the other, and that's because the one with two holes will be going in the middle between the house and the heart below. You could as well do more hearts, so if you've got a family of 5 you could add another one, or I did my daughter one and she's got a dog, so we added the dog as well. And I did exactly the same with the host to the house as well. And then I have these stamps, so the next job was to find the letters that I actually wanted, and I was putting home sweet home on this. Just remember, if you are adding any more hearts, then the ones in between, you do have to put a hole at the top and a hole at the bottom. So once I was finished with adding Home Sweet Home onto the clay house, I decided to go in with some new clay cutters that I got. So these were birds, and they're about a packet of 8, and I did get them for Temu. Yes, I know, I have a problem. But they do have some wonderful stuff, and not everything comes super tiny. So these are the cutters. So I've just put in one side, and then I decided to put one the other side, so it's symmetrical. So just make sure that you push down on the cutter properly, because I might have fluffed it a little bit, but I was quite lucky to get it into the same place. But if you pushed it all the way down in the first place, you wouldn't have to do that and do what I did. And I'll just add in the second one to it on the side, and this one looks like it's a little bit drunk, but it's still cute. Next, I went on to the hearts. So I found it easier of spelling out the name, getting them all together in a line and then pushing them down. It's okay if the name is quite short, like this, for instance, Casey, but if it's longer, you might struggle. But just bear that in mind, because you also need to think, obviously, if you've got a very long name, will it fit on that heart? These will make wonderful gifts for somebody who's just moved into a new home or getting married, maybe. Could have Mr. and Mrs. instead. Just an idea. Next, you need to leave them to dry for 48 hours, and they do turn whiter, as you can see on this. So I'm just having a look over, and there is still, even though I went in with the water, there's still a few scraggly edges. So I'm just going in using a bit of sandpaper. My hands weren't playing ball though, so I did actually end up transferring and putting them down and just using the, I call it a nail file, but please correct me if you know what it is. But yeah, this baby. So that was easier for me to sort of hold on to the heart from the top and just go round. I did notice when I got to the house that there was a little bit of cracking. So what I did was just take a little bit of slip. So slip is basically watered down clay. So I use a little pot, and anything like little scraggly bits I'll just throw in there, and just keep the water. So I'm sorry I'm a little bit off camera, but you can see where there's a little crack on the side, which I wasn't happy with. So I'm just gone in with that, and then once again let it dry before sanding. So once it was fully dry, the house and the rest of them were all dry and they'd had the sandpaper done, it was time to move on to painting. So I always find painting very, can't think of the word, therapeutic. That's it. Brain, sorry. Um so yeah, so I use acrylic paint, white acrylic paint on this. Again, that's what I chose because I know my son's and his girlfriend's colour scheme in their house. But you could use whatever you wanted. Could be pink, purple, you name it. So I didn't disturb any of the paint. When I moved these, once I'd finished painting on the side, rather than using my fingers, I just got a hold of a little pick stick thing and moved them with that. That way I wasn't disturbing any of the paint, and it was just easier to do it that way, really. It was then time to colour the letters. I went in with black because I thought black against white, yeah, it will stand out. It was hard work doing it this way, and there has been other techniques that I've now found out that I will do on another video. But at the moment, you can see me going in with a pick stick again and just really dabbing it into the, well, I say you can see me, I'm a little bit off camera, I do apologise, but just getting a little bit of paint, dabbing it and dabbing it into the areas of the letters. And also I did the bird like this as well. If you do get any paint onto the white surface, don't panic as well, because I did. And it's quite easily to rectify afterwards. So how is everybody today? I hope you're all good. I've had a bit of a rubbish week, to be honest. Just pain, fog, etc. So it has taken me a little bit longer to get this video out. But I still try and make sure that I do crafts, because it does really help with my mental health and keeps my brain active, which it needs to, because I'm getting old. So please, if you could, like, share and comment, and also subscribe, that would be amazing. It helps me to reach people that may be having a bit of a tough time at the moment, and with crafts can take their mind off of it. It really helped me through my dark days, and I want to reach as many people to help them as well. I actually have a new motto, and it is: having a disability don't mean the end, it means a new beginning, which I completely agree with. And crafts really helped me to find that new chapter, and I'm really hoping that you will find the joy in it, just as I do still. Right, back to the craft. So once I had finished going around and putting the black into the letters and the birds, I just went and got a little bit more white paint and took a really fine brush and just went over anywhere where I didn't want that black paint to be. So just take your time when you're doing these little touch-ups. As they say, it's slowly catches a monkey. I think that's off Benidorm. Random stuff comes into my head, honestly. But yeah, just take your time and enjoy the process, really. Then once the paint was all dry, it was time to use a sealer. The sealer which I've actually used, and I'm not sponsored by was a J Diction gloss sealer resin-crete. So it did give it quite a nice varnish glossy coat, shall we say. I didn't video it because I'm rubbish and I forgot. Actually, I thought it was recording and it wasn't. But it is just a normal process which I've done before. Just going over, and I did give these 2 coats. Then once they were fully dry, I just took hold of some cotton, like thick cotton that you use for making bracelets and stuff like that, and I put that in between the hearts and the bottom of the house. And then for the top of the house, I used some white ribbon, and it just all tied it off really lovely all together. So what do you think? Is it something that you'd make? If you do, please leave me a comment and a picture. I'd love to see your work. And thank you once again for joining me. Take care, everybody, and have a lovely week. And I will hopefully see you on the next one. Bye.